script here, but I'm going to just tell you that when this man walked in upstairs,
he made an entrance.
He made an entrance. He was the most real, genuine guy ever. He was just the real deal.
Nice guy.
I think you're gonna, he walked in, he was greeting everybody, wonderful. It was a pleasure. You're going to really love him. But I'm going to give you this real, wait a minute, I got to go through the whole script now.
You have a biography
Give
to
me 1
read.
second, because I have to say all of these words. A multi-talented entertainer, 2-time Emmy Award winner, 9-time nominee for Best Choreography. He has appeared in film, television, stage projects, including Footloose and Hairspray Live.
Do you know yet who we're talking about? Any ideas? He's also a best-selling author whose memoir, Taking the Lead, Lessons for Life in Motion, was named to the prestigious New York Times bestseller list. That's quite a feat, I would say. In May of 2017, he joined Jennifer Lopez at the judges table on World of Dance, an unparalleled dance competition that features solo artists competing against duos and crews in all genres of dance, competing for a $1 million prize.
Can you dance?
No.
I didn't think so. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to introduce today's headliner, Derek Hough, everybody.
Hello! How you doing? Guys, thank you so much for having me today. I'm so happy to be here. Last time I was here was actually in 2014 when the Patriots won. So, yeah, exciting stuff.
You saying you're going to bring good luck this year?
Pardon?
You're bringing good luck this year? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you know? Yeah. Anyways, again, you know, one of my favorite things to do when I go on tour and, you know, go to different cities is to see you all, to see you face to face, in person. And I just appreciate all your love and I appreciate all your support. And with that said, let's get started, shall we? Can't stop it. Can't stop it.
I love it. And you're a huge Red Sox fan, right?
Yeah,
That's what we want to hear.
Here's the thing with me with sports in general. I was from Utah, right? We didn't have really any teams except Utah Jazz. That was it. No football team, no real baseball team. So, and I moved to England when I was 12 years old, which was, you know, soccer, English football. So I didn't really ever have a team. I never really had a team. So I'm open.
So you're with the Red Sox.
I'm open for it, you know?
You're open. We're going to the World Series and you're going to come along.
Let's go. Let's go.
Like it or not. All right, Derek. Thank you so much for being here with us.
pleasure.
We really appreciate it. And these people are, everybody's from Massachusetts. These people are good, salt-of-the-earth people, passionate about our sports, and we're passionate about you. Yes. And that's why they're here. Am I right?
Yeah.
So people want to learn a little bit more about you, so we'll do a little bit of an interview.
Let's do it, shall we?
I asked him, can I ask you anything? He said anything.
Anything.
Oh.
And I'm sure I'm going to regret that instantly.
So let's go back to the beginning. And you said that you grew up in Utah. So how old were you when you learned how to dance? Who taught you how to dance? Or was it just this gift that you had?
Well, for me, you know, I grew up in a family. I have 4 sisters. And yeah, so much estrogen, it's crazy. But you know, I started dancing when I looked at home videos. I was always dancing at my grandparents' coffee table and, you know, going on my hips and being Elvis, you know, doing the whole Elvis thing. Except for my dad always said, he goes, we'll have no pelvic thrust in this household, young man. And now I do it for a living, you know, so it's... And I went to class when I was about 9 years old. I started going to class and my mom...
Did you ask to go to class?
No, I was dragged. I did not want to go to dance. It was not a cool thing to do. I was like, no, Mom, it's for girls. And it, you know, once I heard the music and once I started moving to music, there's something happens when you connect those two things. It's primal. It's like, you know, I really truly believe that there's dancing in all of us. You know, some people aren't trained in it, some people aren't as coordinated sometimes, but we all have that desire to move to music or move to something. You know, you always just feel better for it. And I see a lot of nodding heads in there. I see some guys going, no, dude. But I know.
You're also a musical guy. You play a number of instruments as well, right? When did you pick those
I'm not
up?
gonna lie, there's drums back here, and I almost came up through that. Yeah, I play drums, I play guitar and piano. And yeah, music and dancing and just there's something about it I love dearly.
Can I just it's not on my script, but look at this man's hair. I always love man's hair. Look at that hair. That is some hair. That is anchor hair. Anchorman hair.
Anchorman. Everybody, keep looking at my hair. No.
That is good hair.
Thank you.
So you moved overseas.
See, Benji's having none of it.
He's got me beat on the hair front.
By the
So
way,
I
he
got
has like a reverse receding hairline where it's like it gets deeper on the end.
I know. It's got
I hope it's not
hair
going
too.
there.
It works.
Yeah, okay.
You moved overseas. You spent some time, you said, in England.
I did, yes.
Tell us about that. Your sister went with you, right?
Yeah, I moved to England when I was about 12 years old by myself. I moved in with a family and was training at my coaches, Corky and Shirley Ballas. Mark Ballas, you know from Dancing Stars as well. And actually, fun fact, Shirley Ballas is now the head judge. She took Len Goodman's spot in the original UK version. So now she's the head judge. There's no more fuddy-duddy Len. He retired from because the British show is the original, right? And there's actually 45 different versions of Dancing Stars around the world. Italy, Germany, you know, Russia, like you name it, they're everywhere. And it all came from England, and now she's the head judge. So fun little trivia there.
So now you've moved on to another show, but can you just, and we'll talk about that.
Oh no, please.
Not yet. Let's talk about Dancing with the Stars.
Let's do it. Let's talk.
And that was something that's where you really just was the big breakout, at least for the audience.
Yes.
And in your heart, that's where it all started.
Well, it started definitely the platform and from a large scale.
That's what I mean.
Absolutely. Before that, I competed around the world. I was a world champion, dancing nonstop and did musical theater. But my big break, yes, was Dancing with the Stars. And one thing I loved about the show is teaching somebody and that connection that I have with my partners. And people often ask me like, well, who was your favorite partner? And I'm like, well, they're all like my ex-wives, so I gotta be careful. Because they're always somehow listening, and they always know. They like text me like, hey, you said that so-and-so was your favorite. I thought I was. I'm like, oh, I love you, honey. You're always my name. It's like 17 ex-wives, it's a lot.
Well, wait, who was your favorite?
Oh, put my foot in it. There's definitely some standouts, I'll say that. Bindi Irwin was remarkable. I love when she came in her muddy boots. Oh, just go and film a hike, Derek. I'm like, great, wrestle an alligator, or croc. And she was remarkable, just beautiful soul, struggled with joy, I always say about her. And Kelly Pickler was wonderful, she was a surprise. It was interesting with her actually because she was very, very nervous. She struggled a lot with anxiety and nerves, especially before the show. And so, it's interesting. When you're nervous and when you're excited, the physical difference is zero. It's the exact same thing. Being nervous and excited are identical emotions, just different language. You're just using a different word, and when you use a different word, you tend to focus on different things. So when you say nervous, you're focusing on the negative. I'm gonna fall, the judges aren't gonna like me, this person's not gonna like me. But when you say, I'm excited, just changing the word changes your focus, because where focus goes, energy flows. It's so important in everything that we do. Whatever we focus on, we feel, right? Whatever we focus on is what we feel. Have you ever had an opportunity when people say like, so-and-so said this about you, right? They're talking behind your back, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they said that. You get all mad, all upset, and all of a sudden, you realize they never even said that. Ever happened to you before? And you're like, oh wow, I felt all those emotions. I felt that was real, but because my focus was on something else. So I kind of digress a little bit, but it was really important for me to work with Kelly Pickler about what she was focusing on and changing the language from being nervous to excited, and it really helped her, win the Mirrorball Trophy. It was really amazing. And then one more.
Oh no, keep going. We're okay with that.
Amy Purdy. Amy Purdy, she lost her legs, unfortunately, at the age of 19. And she was an amazing example of somebody who said, she could have easily been like, well, why does this happen to me? Why does this always happen to me? And go into this victim mode. And instead she says, why is this happening for me? Life isn't happening to you, but life is happening for you. Looking at these moments, these problems, these obstacles, and she turned that around and turned it into something beautiful, and she's serving others and helping others, because they say the secret to living is giving. When you're helping, when you're serving, when you're sharing, it's when you're fully connected to who you are. And she really embodied that, and it was really, really inspiring to be a part of that process with her. She was amazing.
So with these dance shows, we see the final product, a 2-hour broadcast once a week or so. Talk about the workload when you're taping these, because I can imagine it's 7 days a week, almost all day. Right?
Yeah, I actually used to say 8 days a week, because even when you go home, it's for me at least, it would be ruminating in my mind. I'm constantly thinking about it, trying to figure it out, and a lot of it wasn't just the choreographing, but it's also like the costume or the lighting or the concept, but also how am I going to help this person get to what they need to do? Because each person is different. I can't coach this person the same as this person over here. I can't, it's always different. It always is tailor-made for that particular person I'm working with. And I have to find and try new ways and things to get through or to connect with them, because I find, I like to relate something. Like if they're a singer, I'll relate singing terminology. So they feel safe, they feel confident, and then I'll relate that to dancing. Or if they're an actor, or if they're, a football player. What I mean? You'll use football terminology to connect, to the dancing.
So that leads me to this, then what's the easiest style to dance? And because there are people out here who would probably love you to show them. Even though I would love it, but I'm not selfish. And I love all of you. If there's somebody out there who maybe you could show.
Would you like a little dance real fast? Here, I'll show you real fast. Daughter's like, Mom, what the heck?
I know. Like, you take this picture.
All right, we'll get a little clap going for like a little music. Boom. 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 Just like that. There you go. There you go.
Wow. Look at this, you guys.
Wow.
Wow. Excellent. Thank you so much. So that's how you do it.
That's all you gotta do. Or, people say, or just have a few tequilas and you're gonna be great.
It's a little early there.
Amazing.
So now you've moved to the judging.
Yes.
Which is more challenging?
Dancing, for sure. Being a judge and seeing the most extraordinary dancing. So here's the thing, if you haven't seen World of Dance, let me just give you a quick rundown real fast. So Dancing with the Stars, phenomenal show. I love it.
ABC, thank you.
You're teaching somebody who is a non-dancer, and you're teaching them how to dance. So you think you can dance? Another dancing show. You're taking, some up-and-coming amateur dancers, and say you have like a hip-hop dancer, but you're saying, hey, I'd love to see you dance like a cha-cha. So you're challenging them, right? You're saying, what else can you do? With World of Dance, what I love about it is that we are letting these dancers do what they do. This is the style that they train in all their lives. This is them at their absolute best. Peak performance. This is the highest standard of dancing we've ever seen. From all over the world. We have people from all over, and it's so amazing. For me, I've seen everything. I feel like I've seen everything. And we're filming right now, actually, and just like 3 days ago, I'm not kidding you, I'm seeing stuff I've never seen before.
Wow.
And I'm in absolute awe, I'm inspired, I'm also slightly depressed, because these 9-year-old kids are doing things that I'm like, oh my gosh, how are you, what superhuman being are you? So, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's an amazing, amazing show.
And you're going on a live tour next year.
Yes. So, oh my goodness. So for those of you who don't know as well, I'm actually going to be coming, in the Boston area, well, in Boston. Yes, come on down. April 23rd. Yes, and if you don't have them, go to DerekHuff.com. It's really super easy. You just go boom, 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 and then you're there. And it's actually really exciting. It's my very first solo tour. I've been on about 8 different tours, with Dancing with the Stars, where I went on tour with my sister, Julianne, which I love dearly. I left her at home. But what's really great about this show is that I'm going to be doing I'm going to have live musicians on stage with me, we haven't done that before in these dance shows. So, I love music. I want to have a drummer, a cello player, saxophone, trumpets, the whole thing, and we're going to be going to town. So please come down. I want to see your faces.
Are we going to ask audience before we go to the audience?
Yeah, let's do a couple more questions with us, and then we're going to open up to audience questions, so get your questions ready first. But so, Derek, how often are you on the road?
How often?
Yeah.
I am.
You live in LA now, right?
I do. I live in Los Angeles right now. I'm building a house. It's taken me 20 years. Who's ever built a home? Don't ever do it. Almost done. Oh my gosh. But actually, this summer, what I did is I actually took some time out for myself and for adventures. I've always wanted to do it. I've been going from tour to show to TV show to all these things, which has been fantastic. But I took some time out and I spent some time with my dad. You know, my grandpa passed away, and it made me realize, is like, you know what? All these adventures that my dad and I talked about, like, there's a great expression, you know, the path of someday leads to a town called nowhere. Meaning, like, when you keep putting things off, and you say, someday we'll do this, someday we should do that, or when we say we should do this, we should do that, and turning your shoulds into your musts, where I was like, no, I must do this. I must spend more time with my family. I must spend more time with my dad. And we went on these really amazing adventures in Banff, you know, Canada. We were in Tonga swimming with the humpback whales. It was extraordinary. It was amazing. So a lot of traveling in that sense this summer. It's been amazing.
So I have one quick question.
That's fine.
Based on that, have you ever had a day that you haven't danced?
Yeah.
I mean, really, like, genuinely, like, you walk to the bathroom and there's not a little dance as you walk in. You walked upstairs and you danced your way in. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You danced your way in. I don't believe you.
That's a good question.
I know it's a good question.
I might not even be aware of it, but yeah, you're probably right.
Every day of your life. See?
It's in my veins. You know what's funny? I've actually recently got a nickname is Happy Feet, because whenever I'm on an elevator, I just did it actually on the way down here.
Thank you.
I'm in an elevator and I'm just like, you know, tap dancing. Everybody's just kind of like, you right there, pal? Like, you gotta go to the bathroom? I'm like, no, just tap dancing. Just tap dancing.
So, you've done a lot of other types of productions, musical theater, those kinds of things. What's your favorite either role or production you've been a part of?
Favorite role? I don't know. I think they're all kind of bring out something different, but you know, for me, being on stage on these live tours, dancing, that's my favorite. You know, that's my favorite. You know, it's that interaction with the audience, that instant sort of relationship that you have, and it's just, you don't know what's gonna happen. It might go wrong, but it's okay. You just kind of go with the flow, and that is my favorite thing. And that's why I'm going on tour again, you know, next year. April 23rd in Boston. But yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite thing.
Would you take questions from the audience?
Oh my gosh, please.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, we got a microphone, so let's wait till the microphone gets around. We got one right here in the front.
Yeah.
So you mentioned something about anxiety earlier. So I love to sing and act. I've never really tried to dance, but I struggle with really bad anxiety. Like, do you think I'd ever have a chance?
Absolutely.
And do you maybe have a little bit of advice of how I can focus and tackle my anxiety?
Absolutely.
Push myself?
Well, you know, first of all, there's a couple ways actually. There's a couple ways. So one of the fastest ways to change the way you feel is to change the way you move your body and you hold your body. So even just like right now when I'm looking at you, honey, I can see like you're kind of slunched over a little bit like this, right? Ooh, wow, big difference. By the way, huge difference. That's not just posture, but all of a sudden you're smiling, you're laughing now, right? And you're like, wait, what's happening? So one of the fastest ways to change the way you feel and what you focus on is the way you move your body. So if I were to say, there's somebody behind this curtain that was not very confident, felt a little down, right? How would they be standing? They'd be slouched over. Their eyes would be down. Their head would be down. Would their breathing be shallow or deep? Shallow, right? And so think about that. So that's the physical. You have to physically get in a position to feel a certain way. Now, the contrary, if I had someone who felt confident, felt amazing, and was like, oh my gosh, I want to feel what they're feeling, how are they standing? Right? Their shoulders are back, their head's up, they're breathing deep, right? They're looking ahead. So what happens actually chemically in your body, it changes the chemistry, right? So if you think, okay, I'm nervous, I'm not feeling good, I'm not feeling confident, change the way you hold your body, right? Pump some music up, feel good, walk around, move your body around. That's the fastest way to change the way you feel. right? And also think about whatever you focus on is what you feel. So if you focus on like, a common question that we all get asked is, that we ask ourselves is, am I good enough? Am I worthy? Right? And that's not just in dance, I mean that's just in life, right? We always think that. We always ask ourselves that. And the truth is that you are. You are. You've always been enough, and you always will be enough. Always.
Look at that smile.
And if you, right? And if you know that, and you need to tell yourself that, like, I am enough. I am enough. I am worthy of love. I'm worthy of my love. I'm worthy of everybody's love. And also, confidence isn't something that you have, right? So, that you are looking for, that you need to get. Confidence is something that you create. And so that's what I mean by moving around. You create that because it's already there. It's already within you. So you can absolutely do anything you want, honey. All right?
Love it. Great.
Love it. Right,
And ask me that question.
That's what happens to me. I catch myself. If I'm sitting here, I'm feeling down. I'm feeling bummed out. The first thing I change is not the way I'm thinking, but it's the way I move my body. I change that, and that is the catalyst, and then we'll start changing my focus. So.
Great. I think we're going over here.
You got it.
Okay, you said you wanted to do some things adventurous, and I saw you trek around with Bear Grylls. And what I really want to know is there somebody there that's going to catch you when you're going down the cliffs, or
Let me tell you something.
do all the risky things that are done?
Let me tell you something actually about the Bear Grylls adventure. So, like in television, right? You're like, okay, that didn't work. Take two. We'll do that again. There's none of that in that adventure. I promise you. It's so fast-paced. The camera guys climbing these mountains, these cliffs, these giant cameras, and the sound guys, they're amazing. Like behind the scenes, it's truly amazing. But no, there's nobody there catching me. And that was the scariest part. Jumping out of the helicopter, parachuting, that was fine. You know, being in Glacier Lake. The scariest part was rappelling down this cliff because he hooks me in, and there's no like, okay, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna do this, you hold here. He literally hooked me up and went, all right, lean back, and he was pushing me. And I'm like, dude, this is a 300-foot like this. And I genuinely was freaked out, and I go back and I'm holding on, and you're supposed to relax your hands to feed the rope. I was so nervous, I was like this, and then eventually halfway down, my arms gave out. And I'm like, here goes, I'm gonna die. This is it, this is over, it's over. And so I finally like started losing my grip, not by choice, but then I was like, oh wait, this is what I was supposed to be doing the whole time. Okay, this is great, awesome. But yeah, no real safety. It's pretty dangerous.
Where's the microphone?
Right
here. What's your favorite style of dance to perform?
My favorite style of dance. I love dances. Well, first the music for me dictates what I want to dance, and music that I love is music with a lot of percussion, big deep drums like a kick drum or a taiko drum, and strings. I love the cello. There's something about that sort of like that fluid, just beautiful string sound mixed with that percussive beat that just gets me like in a passionate like state. So paso dobles, or like a tango or an Argentine tango, it really makes me feel like, connects me to this like masculine, you know, energy that just feels really good. Yeah. You're like, yes, masculine energy, I love it, yes.
Hi Derek, I'm Laurie.
Hi, Laurie.
From Massachusetts.
Nice to meet you.
Going Dancing with the Stars. My question is, you just mentioned on your solo tour, you're going to be having a live band behind you. Do you and Mark Ballas still perform in a band together? And if so, is that something the two of you would talk about taking on tour with a band dance combination? Because that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, we don't actually. No, I mean, we kind of do our separate things. You know, he's actually on Broadway right now doing kinky boots, wearing these big leather boots, you know. So he's doing wonderful. He has a band with his wife called Alexander Jean, and she is ridiculous voice, like Janis Joplin style, incredible. But yeah, with my tour, what's going to be really exciting is that with the live music, it's not so much going to be behind me, it's going to be a part of the show, intertwined. I'm really excited for you to see it, because we're going to be there, right? April 23rd in Boston.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
We are to your right.
Oh, there we go. All the way over here.
Hi, Derek. We all love you. I would like to know who your favorite dancers are. what your favorite dances?
What are my favorite dancers? Dances or dancers?
And also, we missed you in New York a couple of years ago when you broke your foot over
I'm
there.
sorry.
We had a show.
I'm sorry. I was dancing with Nastia Lukin on Dancing with the Stars, and I was doing 13 shows a week at Radio City Music Hall. I was doing them simultaneously, and I would go and do a show at Radio City Dance. Then in between shows, I would go teach Nastia, choreograph the routine in the dressing room, go back on stage, go work. It was crazy. And all of that, I was healthy as a horse, felt incredible, had energy for days, and I was walking and stubbed my toe on a light, and I broke my toe, and I was like, I'll be right back, I'm gonna go get some ice for my toe. And I went to go, and I fell down the stairs, and I sprained my other foot. So all that dancing, all that hard work, and I stubbed my toe. It's like typical dancer, just an absolute klutz. But my favorite dances, I think I answered it was Paso Doble and Tango, Argentine Tango. I do love those. And I'm so sorry, but if you come see me April 23rd, this is subliminal messaging. I hope it's really working. It's great.
Hi Derek, my mom Marilyn brought me here to see you. She's a huge fan, so Marilyn says hi.
Hi Meryl.
I know that you host with Jennifer Lopez, and I was just wondering what's she like in person. Is she as nice as she seems? Have you had a chance to dance with her also?
Jay, yes, I have had a chance to dance with her. Actually, I have a funny story about her. We went salsa dancing, Jennifer Lopez, and this is before we were working together. And we were salsa dancing in this little club, and it was hot, sweaty, live, it was awesome. And she's like, let's go. Derek goes, okay, so we're salsa dancing. I'm like turning her. She's going full out, like full going. And I dip her, and I pull her back up, and I see her just kind of go like this face, and then she reaches back down, goes across, comes back, and we start dancing again, right? So I'm like, I wonder what that was about. An hour passes, I see her, and she goes, hey, Derek, look. Opens her purse and pulls out this massive chunk of hair. And I'm like, why do you have a dead animal in your purse? Like, what's happening? And she goes, no, dude. She's like, when you dipped me, I stepped on her hair and pulled her back. So...
It was a hair extension, right?
I mean, yeah, but, so those hair extensions, they're in there. And they're attached to something. So needless to say, the next day, she sends me a picture of her head, and it's like red and raw. I know, and I'm like, wow. And so when she asked me, she called me, she goes, Derek, I really would love for you to be a part of this new show for the dance. I'm like, you sure you want me? You sure? But yeah, she's wonderful, smells amazing.
Don't say that too loud, earbuds are on the corner.
She smells good. Yeah. Actually, yeah, it's funny actually. Yeah. I won't go to that. But, I'll just say this. We were sitting at the judge's table, and I'm like, how was your week? We're gonna catch up. I was saying, how you doing? And she said, I'm not a guy. I'm like, oh. He goes, you play sports. And here we are. That's all I'm gonna say.
Let's get back to the questions.
What was your favorite time with your family when you were younger?
What a beautiful question. And here's what I love about that, is it's so important to remember that. It's so important to polish our good memories, right? Because we tend to think about all the bad things, and let's think about those beautiful moments. And one of my favorite moments with my family is dancing with them and being crazy. I have 4 sisters, and they are crazy. They are loco. And I call them my beautiful hurricane because they are dangerous. When they're dancing and it's like, you got lampshades falling over, you got tables flying, but I love it. I love seeing all that joy and that happiness and that excitement for my family. There's a beautiful lake in northern Idaho called Coeur d'Alene Lake, and it's our special place where my family come together and we connect and we just remind ourselves of, our love for one another and everything. So this is my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing. But what a beautiful thing, right? I love that. What a great question. What a great question, because here's the thing. I'm kind of dropping little nuggets in here, but, we always tend to, right now I feel like there's a lot of stuff like, oh, the world's coming to an end, it's terrible, everything's bad. But actually, in some areas of the world, it's better than ever. It really is. What's bad is always available, but so is what's good. sows what's good. And there's so much good happening in the world right now if we choose to focus on it, if we choose to see it, if we choose to acknowledge it. And so I challenge you to focus on those good things and stand guard at the door of your mind. You know what I mean? And let good things come in, and let good things that, you know, they're going to serve us and serve our lives and serve our daily lives, and not get hijacked by, you know, social media and all these different things that are just feeding us, you know, bad things. So just something to think about, I would say. Yeah.
Another question? Hi, Derek.
Hi.
I'm Heather.
Hi, Heather.
And my question for you is, what's your favorite quote to live by?
My favorite quote to live by? As you can see, I love quotes. Just because they're simple, they're quick. Man, there's so many. I don't know. Wow.
Carpe diem, seize the day.
Seize the
you are
day.
seizing the day. I mean, I'll help you along here.
There's a bunch.
You came in and seized the room.
I would say there's a few. One, as I said earlier, you know, life isn't happening to you; it's happening for you. And actually, there's one too that I really, really love, and it's trade your expectations for appreciation. Because we expect a lot, right? We expect certain people to treat us a certain way. We expect this to happen. We expect all these things. But the problem with expectations is that you're constantly going to be disappointed. Constantly. Right? Oh, my mom's not, you know, she's not saying something that I need to hear. Or my dad, or my friend, or there's expectations. But if the second you get into that mode, you're going to be in a low state. If you train your expectations for appreciation, it changes the game in an instant. Like, instantly. And that, for me, is a good reminder. It helps me a lot. It's very simple to remember and very, very effective. Because when we're expecting from others, we're judging. And when we're judging, we're in a low state, right? So if I appreciate, there's gratitude. Gratitude is the highest connection to yourself. The highest. And you can't be fearful, and you can't be mad or angry and grateful at the same time. It's not possible. The second you get grateful, the second you start appreciating, you move out of that so fast. And I think that when my dad would call me or something, and I'm like, man, you know, I'll get frustrated. I'm like, wait a minute, there's expectation here. I need to appreciate right now, and then thank him for everything he's done for me, and thank him for all the love, the support, and all those memories, those beautiful memories I remember. You know, so yeah, that one.
I think we have a microphone right here.
Hello, Derek.
Oh, I love your voice. Where are you? Oh my gosh, so sweet.
I love watching Dancing with the Stars, and I especially like watching you. You do something extra. And the thing is, I am a non-dancer. And one of the main reasons is because I get dizzy dancing. How are the celebrities that are selected able to overcome that? Because I can't.
Some can't. No, some. You know what's interesting actually is that the more you do something, the more your body gets, you know, accustomed to it. And I have to say, there's been some partners where I'll start dancing under like a pivot or something, you know, and they get dizzy, like whoa. But over time, they learn to sort of spot. Their body gets a little bit more accustomed to it, and their dizziness goes away. But also, you know, if it's not working for them, then I do things that don't have any spins in them. You know, you can still dance and not turn, right? You can still do something and move around. And then what I would do with my lady is, if she wasn't, you know, strong in the turning, you know, area, I would dance with her, then I would turn, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I'm always sort of like trying to tailor the routine to fit whoever I was dancing with. And so, sir, if I was to teach you how to dance, I would show you some moves that would help you not be dizzy. Yes. But I bet, correct me if I'm wrong, if a great song comes on, what's your favorite music? What's your favorite song? The blues? You like playing the blues. Right, and when you're playing, you move around a little bit, right? Come on. Come on! You know he does, right? You know he does. He's moving around a little bit. I love it.
And we have time for one more audience question over here.
Hi, Derek. I wanted to know, when you do your choreography, if you think about it first, or do you just do it and then it becomes the reality? And the second question is, when the different stars from Dancing with the Stars go on Good Morning America, I noticed they never actually wear the same costumes that they had on the show the previous night. Is there a reason for that?
Oh. Interesting. I've never been aware of that. Let me try to make up an answer about that. I'm, just kidding. I'm sure there's a reason. But when I'm choreographing, it changes. The process changes for me every time. You know, I think if there's a song first, then I'm like, okay, what's the song telling me? You know, and actually when I hear music, the first thing I see is color. The first thing, so I hear a song, I'm like, ooh, this feels like a red, or this feels like a blue, or like a pale blue, or something. I see like a shade of color when I hear music, and that sort of dictates the tone and the feeling of the dance. And sometimes, honestly, I actually got into an argument with Jennifer Lopez the other day, because she was saying to this group, like, there was no story. And I said, there doesn't need to be a story. It helps when you have a story, a narrative, to evoke an emotion and to bring the audience along with you and for them to feel, you know, relatable in some way. But also, sometimes dance is just good to watch, you know? It doesn't need a story, it could just be beautiful and aesthetically pleasing, you know? So sometimes I'll choreograph a routine with that in mind. But sometimes I'll choreograph a routine where I'm like, you know what, I want to do a tribute for Bindi Irwin's father. You know, and so then I'm like, okay, why? So the story comes first. And I'm like, well, now I need to find a song that matches that. So then I'm searching for music, and then all of a sudden, Footprints in the Sand comes on. I'm like, wait a minute, Footprints in the Sand, and I can suddenly, You're Always With Me, all these lyrics, I'm like, this is exactly matching the narrative. And then the dancing happens. So it's different each time. Different each time.
Did you find that it's helpful to know how to read music? You obviously do. Would you find that's helpful? Or could you choreograph without that skill? You can definitely choreograph without that skill. I think for me, it was it's more feeling or an analytical approach. That's what's interesting. So dancing in general, what I love about it is that it's heart, it's soul, it's passion, but also it's science and math. It really is. There's a mathematical and science behind it when there's formations or movements. You know, if you're breaking down certain things, you know, there's a fundamental to each movement that's actually very basic. And it's just a collection of those things that create a dance step or a sequence. So I love that, marrying those two together. So yeah, so choreography is different each time. Yeah, or I'm inspired. You know, I was Fred Astaire or Gene Kelly, you know, and I'm like, wow, I just love the way they use their props and they use the environment in some way, and that's exciting. I love using that.
Greatest dancer of all time, besides you.
Greatest dancer of all time?
Come on, you've been asked that question.
You know.
Is it Fred Astaire?
It's hard, well.
Kelly, I got a Gene Kelly down here.
I love Gene Kelly's style, his gusto, his the way he moves has a little bit more like weight to it. I love Fred Astaire for his percussive, you know, choreography. Man, there's so many greats. Yeah, they're great. They're good.
So up next for you got this tour coming up, April 23rd.
Hey! Go to DerekHuff.com. It's very simple. You guys, I can see people like, yes, and somebody else like, no.
All right, Derek Huff.
We're wrapping it up.
We're wrapping it up. Thank you guys. You guys were the best
Guys, thank you all so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. See you later.